Hey everyone, coming to you from an undisclosed location better known as my office. It is Wednesday, and I hope everybody is doing well. Just want to take a quick moment to thank everybody at the very beginning of this for watching these shorts. This was a little bit of an experiment for me, and so far it's gone quite well. I've been really happy to see the response that these shorts have gotten, and I've been really happy to see all of you sort of jumping on board and reading it and looking at it and watching it and making comments about it. So thank you, and please spread the word and let other people know. And if there's a particular subject you want me to take on that's in the writing or creative space or the teaching space, please let me know in the comments and I will see if I can address that in a future short. Today, though, I want to talk to you a little bit about reading and what specifically we choose to read, because it occurred to me the other day that I love, obviously, reading speculative fiction because I write speculative fiction. So I read a lot of fantasy and science fiction from all sorts of people in all particular eras. Obviously, I love J.R.R. Tolkien, who is my favorite author, but I also love the work of Ursula K. Le Guin. I love the modern works of people like Valerie Valdez, of P. Djeli Clark, of Darcy Littlebadger, and so on and so on. There's all kinds of writers today that I'm just as interested in the speculative fiction field. However, I think it's dangerous to get just stuck in reading one genre or subgenre alone. Why is that? Well, as much as I love speculative fiction, I do read outside of it. I, first of all, write stuff outside of it a little bit too, in the academic sphere especially. I've written on The Court Mask, on Liminal Space, on Renaissance drama, James Joyce, people like that. So I've done work outside the speculative fiction space. But I have to read outside the speculative fiction space, even if I wasn't going to write outside of it. And the reason is because a lot of my readers are going to be people who presumably also read different things. I would like to be able to reach an audience that doesn't just want to read only fantasy all the time. Don't get me wrong, I love fantasy, folks. That's why I write fantasy myself. But for people who read outside of it, who like mysteries or thrillers or literary fiction, right? I want to be able to speak to those people too, and I want to be able to bring them in to speak to some of the commonalities of the creative experience. And so what that means for my reading is I want to read widely, not only the speculative fiction stuff, but more recently, I've had a chance to read things on Venice's Secret Service, which is awesome, by the way, to read about. I'm reading Ada Palmer's Inventing the Renaissance, which has been really amazing, and other works that are fiction, but not necessarily in the speculative fiction space. I want to encourage you to read widely, to read biographies, to read nonfiction, and when you're reading fiction, not to just stay in the lane of fantasy or science fiction or whatever your particular subgenre is. If you read widely, you are better able to appeal to those who read widely as well in your writing, and I think that's a good way to go. Also, it's fun. That's it for me. Thanks, everyone, and I'll see you later in the week.